Artificial intelligence. Is it the next big thing? Is it going to usher in a new era such as the Bronze Age, Stone Age, Industrial Revolution, or the Age of Information? They say AI is changing the world. In this presentation, we're going to talk about that. We'll focus on what artificial intelligence is, where it's going, and why it's important to understand it. Well, artificial intelligence is super complex. And as there are many definitions on what artificial intelligence really means, I decided to pick the one that I thought made the most sense. And it was by Patrick Keeger of a trade magazine, engineering trade magazine, stated that essentially artificial intelligence is a machine that is capable, a man made machine that is capable of operating tasks that we had only thought humans to be able to do. Um, and now, obviously, you can see it in our everyday lives, like Tesla's full self-driving, which is still in its beta, and you'll hear that a lot. This is still in its infancy? This is brand new. And then you might be asking, how does it work? Well, first things first, you have to write a software, and then you have to train it. So there's many models that need to be trained, such as a machine learning model, neural networking, deep learning, cognitive, visual, and language models that all need to be trained. So essentially, machine learning is just uh, pattern recognition, giving your software the ability to take in data and recognize patterns. The neural network stores all the data. It's essentially a highway, just like your brain. It gives you the ability to pass information very quickly, and that is used especially for deep learning, which is deep fakes, where the term comes from. Just a more complex version of pattern recognition. It can find more complex patterns, especially in audio and visual. Hence deepfake. And then cognitive, visual, and language models. Everything needs to be converted. Pictures need to be converted to numbers. The English language, or any language for that matter, needs to be converted to numbers. For the computer to understand, it can recognize these patterns, and it can analyze patterns from how we use it by transferring our speech to numbers, and it can develop tendencies through that. Well, that sounds very scary. That begs the question, should it be legal or illegal? We'll talk about where it's going. AI has been already used to do, I mean, things such as silly as AI-powered shoes, but more scarily or more futuristically, you wouldn't have expected this to already be a thing. But Sine Lamont and her research group at Denmark Technical University recently conducted a study and published it. They trained a model to recognize mortality, high risks of mortality, and predict people's deaths within 4 years. Now, obviously, this is in its infancy, and this was only accurate or relatively accurate for people that were over the age of 55. This was only able to predict mortality throughout 4 years in the future. And it's loses data points because it's flawed somewhat. You can't predict someone getting hit by a car, especially younger people, heart diseases and things that could be passed down genetically that haven't been recorded yet. So obviously, as it gets more data, it's going to be trained more accurately, which is the scary thing. Um, I would have never thought that this technology already exists, and I read this paper, and we're not far away from you being able to tell. By the time you're born, you can tell roughly how long you're going to live. Well, for better or for worse, we're now in the age of artificial intelligence, and understanding it is crucial. If you don't understand it, you could get taken advantage of, and this has already been happening. Baltimore County, one of the high school's principal had a student create a deepfake video of him saying anti-Semitic and racist things, and that was sent to other teachers and faculty, and that was spread around the internet. And obviously, this caused a lot of chaos for this person's life. It was, I mean, everybody that you know thinking that you're racist or anti-Semitic can cause huge problems for your career and just for your life. They were getting harassed online, and they had to be put on leave. Eventually, this was found out to be AI, and this is now going through court. But there's obvious dangers that pose. But you also have to understand it, because you have to understand that it can also be helpful. Saul Khan, for instance, one of the creators of Khan Academy, the creator of Khan Academy, um, is one of the big proprietors arguing in the case of artificial intelligence. A lot of people are against that take, but he believes that it can be used to optimize the future of education. He is creating tutors specifically using AI to help students learn and to help teachers teach. It allows communication between students and AI, but it won't give the answer, but it'll use some of the benefits of AI of being able to teach the students. It can emulate some of the best teachers in the world, and this alone can just completely eliminate the financial gap that people have, um, which is it's unfair, and this is how it should be. Students won't have a above average advantage just because they live in a higher income neighborhood or better schools. It levels the playing field, and yeah, some of the cons, or sorry, uh, artificial intelligence is going to be very powerful and dangerous. It already is proving to be very powerful, and like I said, it's in its infancy. This is the very beginning. Um, this is the least developed we're going to see artificial intelligence in our lifetime. And like I said earlier, understanding it is crucial. This can be, who knows, in the future, it can be the matter of life or death. My dad told me a joke the other day of like he remembers as a kid they're telling him, yeah, someday your people are gonna be able to bring stuff to your doorstep before you even know you want it, and uh, that honestly isn't far from the truth. That could be a day that we see in the near future, and there could be fear mongering from the news portraying that artificial intelligence is a bad thing and it's here to ruin our lives. But that's not necessarily true. It can be very helpful. So with that in mind, stay informed.